Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to one and all. I am Mobin Asaw, together with my partner Omar Nor Hamiruddin S, and we are assigned with the topic Ethical Issues on Global Child Labor for our midterm exam. So first, what is child labor? Child labor is an old problem well rooted in human history. Children were exploited to various extents during different periods of time. The problem was common in the poor and developing countries. So dito daw, ang child labor is matagal ng problema ng ating society. So kahit na sa anong era or generation. Child labor is morally and ethically unacceptable. So understandable naman na ang pang-aabuso sa mga kabataan ay morally unacceptable. Child labor was defined as labor that harms the health of the children and deprives them of education's rights. So, dito sa child labor is naapektuhan ang education ng mga kabataan dahil hindi na nila ito naaasikaso. So, what does child labor look like? Globally, 152 million children aged 5 to 17 are in child labor. About half of them, 72.5 million, perform hazardous work that places their health, safety, or moral development at risk. 1 in 5 children in Africa is involved in child labor, making it that the region where the risk of child labor is greatest. Half of affected children live in lower middle and upper middle income countries. So dito daw isa sa limang kabataan sa Africa ay nakakaranas ng child laboring or yung pang-aabuso sa mga kabataan. So kaya binansagan ang bansang Africa na nangunguna or greatest sa child labor or they are at risk at child laboring. So nangunguna sila dito. So the problem is more prevalent in countries experiencing conflict and disaster. So mas common itong problemang ito, itong child laboring, sabi dito, sa mga country mas prone sa mga disaster or yung mga conflicts. Some children in child labor work 43 hours a week. Estimates for boys involved in child labor are higher than those for girls. But those estimates don't include in household chores. So dito daw, ang child laboring or ang child labor issues are most common sa mga kalalakihan na kabataan. 70% of children in child labor work in agriculture, mainly in subsistence and commercial farming and herding livestock. So sila yung nangangasiwa sa mga farm at yung mga livestock or yung mga alagang hayop ng mga farm. A third of children in child labor are completely outside the education system, and those that do attend perform poorly. So, most of the children or ng mga kabataan na involved sa child labor are kadalasan is hindi na nakakapasok ng paaralan, or kung nakakapasok man is hindi sila nakakasabay ng maayos sa mga normal na kabataan. So, my partner, Omar Nor Hamiruddin, will tackle the rest of the child labor issue. So, this is for my part. That will be all. Thank you.
Good day to each and everyone. I am Nor Hamiruddin S. Omar, and I'll be presenting ethical facets of child labor. Child labor has many facets from the ethical point of view. Autonomy, beneficence, justice, non-maleficence, privacy, and veracity are endangered during child labor. So sa child labor, nanganganib ang autonomy, beneficence, justice, non-maleficence, privacy, and veracity ng isang bata. Utilitarianists would support the idea of child labor as long as they are the sole providers for the family and without their income, the family would not survive, and as long as the labor is voluntarily provided, the ends justifies the means. So, ang utilitarianist daw ay susuportahan ang ideyang child labor hanggat yung bata nagtatrabaho ay siya ang mag-provide ng income o mag-provide ng food para sa kanyang pamilya. At ang batang nagtatrabaho ay kusang loob at hindi persahan. Forced child labor is unethical because it is against the autonomy of the children. So sa pilitan na pagpapatrabaho sa bata ay unethical dahil labag ito sa kanilang kalooban. The consent of the working child is mostly manipulated by the parents. To give consent, a child needs to understand the situation, the consequences, and voluntarily agree to work. Ang pagpayag o pagsangayon sa bata na magtrabaho ay nakadepende sa kanyang mga magulang. Dapat alam ng bata kung ano ang kanyang kahaharapin sa trabaho bago ito siya payagan ng kanyang mga magulang. Children of young age who have a less than fully competent capacity can assent to an action by getting involved in the decision-making process. Children fall easy victims to unfair job conditions, and they do not have the power to stand up against mistreatments. So ang mga bata daw ay madali lang mabiktima ng unfair job conditions o ang hindi magandang trato sa trabaho. At wala rin silang kakayahan para ipagtanggol ang kanilang sarili o para lumaban sa kung sino man ang nakakataas sa kanila. The maleficence of this act has long-term physical, psychological, behavioral, and societal consequences. Even if they are lacking the competency of making informed decisions, they are considered individuals with autonomy that should be protected and safeguarded. Child labor is more common in developing countries where more than 90% of children live. Child labor in developing countries affects 211 million children. The continent with the highest child employment rate is Asia, with 61%, followed by Africa and Latin America. Nearly 41% of the children in Africa are below 14 years old, followed by Asia with 22% and Latin America 17%. India has made progress in reducing the child labor. However, more than 4 million children in India between 5 and 14 years old work more than 6 hours a day, while about 2 million children aged 5 to 14 work 3 to 6 months in a year.